I don't think there's a person on the planet that doesn't at some point in their lives ask themselves, who the hell am I? Why am I here? What's the purpose of life? What's it all about? Alfie, as the saying goes. It took me a long time to come to terms with why I was here. I shared with you some time back about the fact that I'd had a number of past life hypnotic regressions. And that opened a can of worms for me. But it also indicated to some degree why I really had come this time. Because like everyone else, I've been here many times. And as both of you know, I'm sure that the human spirit is infinite, immortal. We incarnate here, we come and go to school. We learn a few lessons, contribute in a small way, in each in our every way. But not many people ever take the time to really sit down and look deeply into themselves. As Yogananda said, self-realization, knowing who and what is living inside this shell that we call a human body. And like most humans, I went through a big chunk of my life, as you said, 3 different careers. And only in the last 10 to 15 years have I really begun to deeply look into myself and come to terms with myself. What if you were to tell the average guy out there that this is a hologram?
That's out there. We know that.
See? Yeah, it doesn't bother you. You prepared yourself. What if I told you that what you think you see as a reality is not reality at all? It's an illusion. And then even further, what if I were to infer to you that all of this is part of a program? I know you're familiar with the movie The Matrix. Sure. Okay, well, you're pretty close. Shakespeare tried to make it clear, and I always convinced that that guy was one of them. He was a genius. I'm not even sure the guy we think of as Shakespeare was Shakespeare. There's some indications that it was someone else entirely.
That's right.
But somebody wrote it.
Anyhow, I always like the analogy of the play. You're a player in a play.
That's right.
You come in stage right, you prance about with your toy swords, you make love, you know, you go through all this, you have heartbreaks, misery, feuds, fights. God, all the plays together, bring it together. And then after it's over with, you exit stage left. And the audience out there in the universe calls for author, 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 you know. Well, I happen to know there is an author, and there is a producer, and there is a director. I haven't met the original author yet, but I know him, I know of him. But we're all living a play.
Yes, but we're also co-creators of that play.
Oh, when you're in the middle of the stage, and you know, you're following the script as it were, but you're, what's the word?
Improvising.
Improvising, adding your own words.
Ad-libbing.
Ad-libbing, yes. You're doing a lot of ad-libbing, and the degree of your ad-lib depends on how many lifetimes you may have lived. But we're in a play, kid. This interview is just a tiny chapter in a much larger play.
What have you seen in the future, Bob?
Well, the thing that keeps me hopeful and positive is that I've seen a gorgeous future. I've seen a beautiful future for the human race. I've seen a future for this species like I saw at Melina for 6 weeks of what it can be.
Could you describe that for the people watching this video for whom a positive vision would be so valuable for them to join you in?
Well, I try to say it, Bill. I try to say it repeatedly when I'm at a conference. That you're in for difficult times. That's what living on planet Earth is all about. It's a tough school. And I've said to people, and many people understand exactly what I'm saying, when you're going to school on planet Earth, you're in one of the toughest schools in the universe. And if you get a certificate from planet Earth, hey, I have a silver certificate. I would leave in closing, just briefly. There is no death. People should not fear death. Now, there are a lot of not very nice ways to die, but there is no end. There's no death. Everyone is a spark of pure divinity, and there is a God. And that is something that I need to stress again and again and again, because I've been asked, am I an atheist? Do I believe in God? And I say, no, I don't believe in God. I know, because I've experienced that. So I would tell people who are troubled, worried, that the next few years are going to be awkward and difficult, but that's what living on Earth is about. But there is a future for the human species. The race is going to make this transition. And at the other end of this, it's going to be